back to my channel. Today we're doing another pattern request. This time we're doing this adorable fox pixel pattern. So without further ado, let's get started. Don't forget to take a screenshot of today's project details and come find me on Instagram. I would love to see your finished wall hanging. Today I'm working off of this branch. I went and found this branch as I was walking my dog in a forest nearby my house. So I'm always on a lookout for a nice good stick or branch to work off of. Now there are ways you can prep a branch, but it's not really necessary for such a small wall hanging. But I'll leave a link in the cards above if you want to go ahead and check that out. Next, I am attaching all 11 cords using a lark's head knot. Now to make a lark's head knot, all you have to do is fold your cord in half, take the loop end, place it over top of your branch, and then slip your tail ends through that loop. For our working cords, I'm going to be using Sheepy's yarn, Sheepjeez, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. In the description box, I'll leave a link to all the products I'm using today. But if you're using different products than me, just make sure that your yarn is half the diameter of your rope that you're using. So taking a look at our pattern, we're going to start at the far left and we're going to work our way towards the right. The best part about these pixel macrame patterns is that it primarily uses just one knot, the vertical double half hitch knot, which makes this wall hanging perfect for the beginner. Working with a long strand of yarn, I like to work with about 120 inches at a time. Place the short tail end on your left and the long on your right. Make a loop on your right, wrap your tail end around and through the loop. This is half of your vertical double half hitch knot, and essentially it's just looped around one of your strands of your lark's head knot. To complete this knot, make a loop again on your right, wrap your tail end around and through the loop. This will secure your knot. Slide your knot all the way up to the very top, close to your branch, and this is the very beginning of your pattern. Each square on the grid represents a vertical double half hitch knot. So let me demonstrate one more time. Place your yarn underneath your next strand of cord and feel free to adjust your lark's head knot just to make sure it's secure around your branch. Make a loop on your right, wrap your tail end around and through the loop. And then we're going to repeat that one more time. Alrighty, taking a look at our pattern again, we went all the way straight across the top. Now we need to go back in the opposite direction. In this row, we're switching colors, so what I like to do is flip that cord up so that I don't go past that point. Next, we're going to grab the same yarn that we were working with in the previous row, and what you want to do is place it behind your last strand of rope, and then make a loop on your left this time. Wrap your cord around and through the loop. So basically it's the exact same thing we did in the first row, only it's backwards. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a little awkward to work backwards at first. However, what helps me is knowing that your yarn is always going to be on the same side of the direction that you're going. Okay, so now we've reached the point where we need to switch our color. So what we're going to do with our previous yarn is we're just going to lie it flat and leave it alone. Bring down your cord that you had flipped over the top and grab a new strand of yarn, obviously in orange this time. And if you remember the very first knot, that is exactly what we're going to do, is we're going to tie it just like the same way we did at the very start of this project. Just remember that we are working in the opposite direction this time, so your short tail end will be on the right. And please note that if you happen to run out of length on any of your yarn, that's okay. This is the exact same way we're going to attach a new piece. Just be mindful of the direction that you're going because it does affect in which way your long tail end will be. Okay, so slide your knot all the way up to the top and just leave your short tail end in the back with the last cord you were using. To tie your next orange knot, make sure you place it underneath your next cord and carry on. This fox pattern is a part of my Your Request series, so if you have a pattern you'd like to see me do, feel free to leave it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. Taking a look at our pattern again, as you can see, we need to switch back to our off-white strand of yarn. To do this, grab your previous strand of yarn, and what you have to do is run it behind your work. So again, what you need to do is run it behind the back of your work here. Then make sure that it's over top of your strand of orange yarn, and then behind your next cord, and carry on tying your vertical double half hitch knots just like you were doing before. Now what we're going to do is we're going to zigzag our way all the way down our pattern, and what I like to do is highlight the rows that I've completed. Next, I'm going to unpin my work, and I'm going to flip it over to clean up the mess on the back. Now, if you wanted to, you could clean up the ends by just giving them a little bit of a trim. However, I like to make sure mine are nice and secure. So I grab any two strands that are close together and tie a double overhand knot. And then I trim off the excess yarn. Now the masking tape is optional, but I do find that it's very helpful to cut a straight line. It also is fantastic for cleanup as all the little strands are stuck together. If you appreciate this pattern, please support my channel by giving it a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And if you love this pattern, I think you might love my bunny tutorial as well. I'll leave the link to that video on the screen now, and I'll see you over there.